Let's talk about Governor Wes Moore's proposed fiscal year 27 budget. The budget totals $70.8 billion and closes an estimated $1.5 billion shortfall through spending reductions, funding shifts, and changes to how certain programs are financed. No new or increased taxes or fees are included. According to the Department of Legislative Services, roughly 75% of the shortfall is addressed through more than $1.2 billion in spending cuts across state government. Among the largest reductions are behavioral health and disability services. Behavioral health funding decreases by approximately $170 million, while disability services see a reduction of about $150 million. The cuts are expected to affect service availability even as demand for mental health services has increased in recent years. Some of the reductions are tied to the expiration or reduction of federal grant programs, decisions made by the Trump administration. The budget also uses bonds to finance certain programs traditionally funded with cash. For example, $83 million for the Bay Restoration Fund and the Waterway Improvement Fund would be financed through debt rather than direct appropriations. This approach preserves cash in the short term, but increases long-term repayment costs. At the same time, the budget includes $269 million in discretionary enhancements aimed at economic development. These include $30 million for IonQ's projects in Maryland and $10 million for the Sphere Maryland project. An additional $56 million is included to cover federal cost shifts related to SNAP and Medicaid. State aid to local governments increases by nearly $381 million, with $359 million directed to public education. That amount includes $228 million from the Blueprint for Maryland's Future Fund to offset declines in the free and reduced meals program. Special education funding for public schools increases by 17%, while funding for non-public special education programs decreases by 16%. Local school systems will have to supplement costs of student placement at institutions like Kennedy Krieger. Blueprint costs continue to rise faster than the revenues dedicated to the program. By 2031, the general fund is projected to contribute more than $3.3 billion to support Blueprint implementation unless changes are made. Counties statewide are required to contribute an additional $39 million towards educator retirement benefits. St. Mary's County's share is projected to exceed $600,000. The legislation also eliminates a $2 million statewide grant program supporting driver's education in public high schools. In addition, funding for the Tri-County Council for Southern Maryland is reduced to $700,000, affecting regional economic development coordination that includes St. Mary's, Calvert, and Charles counties. For more detailed coverage of state and local policy affecting St. Mary's County, visit informedstmarys.com.